Oh, God of mercy, have mercy on us, Lord of mercy. So I want to discuss about something. It's called blessing in disguise, and many of us, as long as you're spiritual and your spirituality is about being connected to your higher self, and being led by your own true self. For me, this is what I'm standing for when I'm saying blessing in disguise. Yes, we can take it from a Christian state of sing, and I want to get into that. I want to, share some kind of things that takes place in our lives, and what sometimes we actually tend to forget that, we are here in this world to deal with certain things, to learn lesson, to also apply the love that we are, because in the end we are love. And I'm telling you, when it comes to love, it's not an easy journey, because you're going to be tested left, right, and center. And your testing point is not about having certain things happening in a certain way. You can be tested mentally, emotionally. You get tested because you need to be refined. There's a gold in you. There's a diamond within you. There's a seed within you that needs to be birthed, and in order for that seed to come up so that it can shine in its fullest potential, you need to go through this situation in life that will test you. It will test you emotionally, psychologically, physically. You'll be tested left, right, or center. And another thing that tends to be an obstacle with many believers in the spirituality is the mental state of a victimhood. Okay, I know this personally. We tend to position ourselves a lot, coming from a place of being a victim of what, because you're gonna get challenged. You're gonna get challenged whether you are challenged by your family members, or you are challenged by your friends, or you are challenged by your own mindset, which is point number one. Because in most cases, I believe, for me personally, from what I've discovered, what challenges us is not that we are challenged by things or people. We are challenged by the mindset, the spirit that we are currently coming from, the state of mind that we are currently functioning from. That's what challenges us. And I feel like the challenges are very of the blessing in disguise, because they tend to come up with gifts if we really look into them. When you're going through a challenge, one thing that is challenged is your mind. You are challenged how you are choosing to see things. You are challenged how you are choosing to position yourself. You are challenged how you're choosing to relate to the situation. You are challenged left, right, and center. And one thing I've actually learned is that, all these challenges, if you actually raise your own vibration spiritually, and you come to a place where you see things from a God's perspective, brother perspective, okay? When you're coming from, you come to understand that all these things are actually serving you for your highest good. But even though on a personal level they feel very intense, they feel challenging in your mind, you feel triggered, you feel emotions flying, you want to have control over things, you act crazy, you just don't even know what. It's all testing time. These are testing time that the Bible talks about. And as I've mentioned before, it's not, don't even expect to be challenged outside your home. You can be challenged at home by people, your kids, your husband, your friends, your sisters, your brothers, your whatever. Like everything, a situation, things just can be. They actually reflecting the state of mind. Where are you? It feels like you are being tested. Where are you? Are you now in the Lord's house? Are you coming from a place of God's house, which is inside before you even go to church? Because you yourself a temple of God. You yourself, you are the temple of God before you even go and gather with other people and do whatever you do as your own belief system tells you to do. What I'm learning to do, I'm understanding now, is that no. The testings that are coming are to see if you really follow up to the faith that you call yourself to be your faith. Are you really living it? Because now that's why I am seeing them as a blessing in disguise, because on the other side, on the flip side, when you look to the challenges, we're actually given opportunities to grow stronger. in when it comes to faith, to grow closer to God, to grow closer to the universe, to the spiritual realm, to raise our vibration so that we may see things beyond the naked eyes. And when we are feeling uncomfortable with ourselves, it's that time where we are invited to connect deeper with our own spirituality, to ask questions. What is it? What's going on? Why am I feeling this way about this situation? Why do I think so and so has to be said? Why am I feeling uncomfortable when people acting this way? Why I feeling like I need to breathe? Why I feel like I can't take it? Why I feel like I'm out of control when people act in a certain way? These are the things and these are the questions we can bring to the Lord, we can bring to God, we can bring whoever and ask them, because they are our guidance. They are actually with us, walking with us to guide us to navigate life on a daily basis. And this is what I'm getting about blessing in disguise. So when you are actually dealing with challenges in your life, just take a moment back and ask yourself, am I just seeing things from a personal state of mind? Am I just being a flesh? I'm just coming from an ego place? Am I just being driven by my emotion? Or am I just being guided by God's Spirit right now? Am I doing these things because God is actually talking to me and telling me to do things? Or I'm just feeling uncomfortable and acting on my own? These are the things that we have to really put ourselves out there sometimes. Really take time to look at things if we are acting, especially if faith is something that you live for. If you believe in God and you believe that life is created for God's purpose. You are here for a purpose. Your family is here for a purpose. The people that you work with are there serving God in your life. You are serving God in their life, and you being served by them in their life, actually serving in your life. So everything that actually lives and breathes is serving God. Everything that is there is serving the highest good of all. So when you have this kind of mindset, it actually helps you to deal with things in life. That's where you start to see things that are challenging as blessing in disguise. Because right now okay, this is the testing time. This is where I'm being tested. Where am I standing? What do I want to? What sort of energy do I want to come from? A place of a loving person, or do I want to come from a place of a fearful person? Do I want to do things just to make myself happy? Is it pleasing God, or is it pleasing me? Is it about me, or is it about God? These are the things you start now asking, because now you have come to understand this whole thing is not about you only, and it's about the whole thing working for the highest good. And when you start to see things in this way, when you start to actually see, this is when you start to see things that are actually coming from a lower energies, or things that are happening around, you can actually understand that this is the time that I'm called to be in a position to position myself in a way. Excuse guys, I'm talking. This is the time where you actually have to position yourself, to position in a way where you are actually aligned. Okay, now I'm choosing this thing, I'm choosing this approach, I'm choosing this way, because I want to align my ways with my higher self. I want to align my way with my faith, not doing things because they only makes me happy. I don't want to do things just because to entertain things. I actually know that I have a God, I have guidance, I have spirit that is guiding me on a moment by moment. Therefore, when things are happening between me and my sister or my brother or my husband, I have a place to go, which is God. I have a place to go, which I have someone to talk to. I can go and talk to them, and I can go and ask for guidance. I can ask for help. I can ask for clearance, for understanding. These are the things that happens when you actually realize now you are actually walking the walk of faith, and your relationship with God comes first before your personal relationship, before your ego. Do you understand? When you have come to understand, I'm a human being, I have an ego. That means I have preferences. I like things to be done in a certain way. That is my ego. But what does God says? Surrender to me, and your happiness and your pain will be mine. Your joy and your certainty will be mine. So when you surrender to God, you take what is happening. Instead of taking things in your own hand and wanting to have control, you go with it to God. Father God, there's this person, there's this situation, there's this. And then God will give you back answers. And now that's a walk in faith. It's not you taking things in your hand and wanting to handle things because you can, because you think you have power. That's being in an ego. And that's being in a place where you just doing things because you in the heat of the flesh, the blood is boiling and you can't control things. That's okay. That's another line. But when you're walking in the faith, this is where you experience blessing in disguise. You will feel things, but you will know that you have a savior, you have a guider, you have someone who loves you unconditionally, and you also know that you are here for a purpose. You are serving, So be reminded when you go through things. Things are not just going to take place for nothing. You are being tested all the time. You're being tested so that you can stay grounded to the God that you call to be your God. You're being given opportunities. These are actually beautiful opportunities, hence we call them blessing in disguise, so that you can learn to walk in faith with your God and understand when you are being personal, when you're coming from a flesh, and when you are coming from the state of being aligned with your higher self, with your God. Basically, that's what we're talking about. Thank you.